There's a way to position yourself as the only choice within your niche, and throughout the course of this video, we're going to cover exactly how to do that. Now, let's start by diagnosing the actual problem. You're finding that you're in a competitive niche. There might be 50, maybe even 100 people doing the same thing as you. And when your clients look at you, they see you as interchangeable. They can't really tell the difference between you and your competitors. So they basically default to price. So when you're competing on price, then you're having to fight to justify your value and then convince people that you're actually worth hiring. And this is the commodity problem. You're a commodity, you're not being seen as an authority. And until you fix this, you'll always be fighting for clients instead of attracting them. So authority stacking is really the process of systematically layering proof, expertise, and positioning on your LinkedIn profile and in your content. So by the time someone evaluates you, the decision becomes obvious. And that makes you not just another option, you become the authority, the expert, and the only logical choice. Now you'll find that each layer builds on the previous one, and when you stack them correctly, you create what I call undeniable authority, a positioning that's so strong that your competitors just become irrelevant. So let me show you how exactly it works. It's really built on 5 layers, and I'll walk you through each one. The first layer is the credibility layer. So this is proof that you actually know what you're doing. This might be certifications, experience, credentials, things like that. The second layer is the expertise layer. So this is proof that you're the best at what you do. So this is more like frameworks, methodologies, proprietary processes, etc. Then you've got layer 3, which is the results layer. So this is proof that you actually deliver outcomes through case studies, client results, testimonials. And then you've got layer 4, which is the thought leadership layer. So this is proof that you're shaping the conversation in your niche. So original insights, unique perspective, and content that actually challenges the status quo. And then you've got the 5th layer, which is the social proof layer. So this is the proof that other people trust you. So it might be endorsements, media mentions, speaking engagements, and partnerships. And when you stack all 5 of these layers, then you become the obvious choice. So let's start by diving a bit more into layer 1, which is the credibility layer, which is really the foundation because it answers the question, can I trust this person knows what they're doing? So this includes you having years of experience in your field and certifications and credentials, and also industry recognition or awards. So for example, if you're a LinkedIn lead gen expert, your credibility layer might include 10 plus years of B2B sales and marketing, or you being a certified LinkedIn marketing expert. So this layer doesn't make you stand out yet, but it establishes baseline trust. Now without it, nothing else really matters. And you've got the second layer, which is your expertise layer. So this is where you start to differentiate, and it answers the question, what makes this person different? This includes proprietary frameworks and methodologies, unique processes or systems, and specialized knowledge that others don't have. So for example, instead of saying I help businesses with LinkedIn, I would say something like I use the Influx Autopilot system, a proprietary framework that guarantees a 50K pipeline in 90 days. So you can see the difference here. The first is generic, whereas the second is based around expertise. And when you have a named framework or methodology, you're no longer a commodity, you're an expert with a unique approach. Then you've got the third layer, which is the results layer. So this is where you prove that you can actually deliver. Now this answers the question, can this person actually deliver results? So this includes specific client outcomes with numbers, case studies with before and after transformations, and testimonials that highlight measurable results. So for example, you could say, I helped a B2B consultant go from 0 LinkedIn presence to a 200K pipeline in 200 days. That could be an example for me. Now this layer is critical because it moves you from theory to proof. Anyone can claim to be an expert, but only authorities can actually prove that they deliver. And then layer 4 is the thought leadership layer. So this is where you separate yourself from everyone else. This is where you answer the question, is this person a leader or are they a follower? So this includes original insights and perspectives, content that actually challenges conventional wisdom, and shaping the conversation in your niche. So for example, instead of posting 5 tips for LinkedIn success, instead you would post why posting every day on LinkedIn is killing your business and what top earners do instead. So the first is generic advice and the second is thought leadership. It's more contrarian, it's more provocative, and it positions you as someone who thinks differently. So you'll see that thought leaders don't follow trends, they actually set them. And then you've got layer 5, which is the social proof layer. So this is really the final layer that cements your authority, and it answers the question, do other credible people actually trust this person? So this would include endorsements from recognized experts in your field, or media mentions and features, things like podcasts, articles, interviews, and speaking engagement at industry events, along with partnerships with well-known brands and influencers. So for example, if you were featured in Forbes, or you're a keynote speaker at a certain industry conference, or you were endorsed by a certain well-known expert, this can be really powerful because it's third-party validation. When other credible people actually vouch for you, it really amplifies your authority significantly. So now let me show you how to actually build on each of these layers on LinkedIn. First of all, with the credibility layer, you can update your experience section with the years of experience, certifications, and credentials that you have. Then for the expertise layer, you can create and name your proprietary framework or your methodology and feature it in your headline and about section. Then you've got the results layer where you can add case studies to your featured section and you can include specific numbers and outcomes. Then you've got the thought leadership layer where you can post original insights consistently, challenge conventional wisdom here, share some unique perspectives. And then you've got the social proof layer, so you can get endorsements from recognized experts, pursue media mentions and speaking engagements and partnerships, and then feature them on your profile. Now, when you build all 5 of these layers, you really create undeniable authority, and that's the reason we call it stacking, because each layer builds on the previous one. Layer 1 alone, if you just have layer 1, it might, someone might say, well, they seem credible, they have some experience, but so do a lot of people. And then layer 1 through to 3, someone might say, well, they sound competent, they got experience, a unique approach, and proven results, so that's a bit better. But layer 1 through 5, that's when you become the obvious choice, because someone's going to say, well, they have experience, a unique approach, proven results, original insights, and third-party validation. No one else is like them. This is the stacking effect, because each layer builds upon the previous one until your authority is undeniable. Now, authority stacking isn't just about your profile, it's about your content. Every post you publish, it should reinforce at least one of these 5 layers. So reference your framework. You can say, in my case, it would be like, in my Influx Autopilot system, we focus on 3 key pillars. When you're sharing client results, you can say, I just helped a client generate 50K in pipeline in 90 days. Here's how. Or if you were posting a contrarian insight, you could say, everyone needs to post every day. Here's why. Everyone says, sorry, you need to post every day. Here's why that's wrong. And so when you constantly reinforce your authority in your content, you become impossible to ignore. Now, when you go about doing this, what you'll find is that your competitors, they got much more generic positioning. They don't have a proprietary framework. The results might be vague without thought leadership or social proof, whereas you have clear credibility, a named framework, specific case studies, contrarian insights, and third-party validation. So that then makes the decision obvious for a customer, because now you're not just another option, you are the authority. This is really the power of authority stacking. It can make your competitors completely irrelevant. Now, you might be thinking, well, how long does it take? And really what you'll find is that the first layer, credibility, you can do that immediately. But then the rest of the layers, it could take weeks, it could take months. A lot of it really depends on where your business is at, the level of consistency that you have. But the good news is that you'll start seeing results certainly within 30 days, and you don't need all 5 layers to actually start attracting better clients. Each layer will increase your authority immediately. Now, once you do this, you'll find that you're not going to be competing on price anywhere near as much. Clients are going to come to you much more pre-sold, and you're going to start to be seen as the only logical choice when someone evaluates you against your competitors. And lastly, your positioning will also do the selling for you, so you're not fighting to convince people, your authority will convince them. And this is really the power of this approach. Now, I've shown you a bit of a snapshot, a small piece of what it looks like to have our complete Influx Autopilot system working to get you to a point where you're generating leads on autopilot. So if you want to get to a point where you want to have the support of our guarantee, which is $50,000 in net new pipeline within 90 days through our approaches, I'll leave a link in the description box below, which is a short free video which breaks down our approach in a bit more detail to help you to understand more about what it would take to get qualified leads on autopilot through LinkedIn. So if that's of interest, check out the link in the description box below, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video. With that said, also to take a second to like this video, comment, share, and subscribe if you did gain some form of value for it. Appreciate you watching, and I'll see you next time.